Mainebiz Sunday is brought to you by Bangor Savings Bank, where you can enjoy free ATMs worldwide. You're watching Mainebiz Sunday, Maine's business news source.
We are at the Maine Fishermen's Forum talking about the fishing industry in Maine. The largest segment of that industry is the iconic Maine lobster. With us to discuss the lobster industry and a new national seafood marketing initiative that could bring millions in marketing dollars to Maine seafood producers are Dane Somers, Executive Director of the Maine Lobster Council, Tom Martin, owner of Lucky Catch, and John Jordan, President of the Calendar Islands Maine Lobster. Welcome, gentlemen. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Yeah, it looks like we've got another great Fishermen's Forum this year. We're here at the first day of it, so it's kind of just getting started, but I understand it gets pretty busy, and this is the feature event for the industry for the year. So glad I could be a part of it.
Absolutely.
This segment, we want to talk about lobsters. Obviously, that is one of the major parts of our seafood and fishing industry in Maine. So first of all, let's do a little recap, and Dan, I'm going to start with you. How did we end up last year? Looks like the numbers are in. I've been reading the headlines from Bangor Daily News. 93 million pound record lobster catch reported in 2010. So happy days are here again, right?
Well, in terms of the supply, the resource is doing great, and those are preliminary numbers. It looks like we may even creep up another 3, 4, maybe even 5 million when all the numbers are in.
No kidding.
So fabulous year in terms of resources. Speaks
That's why I couldn't get anybody to come to my show in November, right?
They're
all out.
Everybody was out hauling like crazy.
Yeah.
So excellent year, and it speaks well for the resource management. Right. It's very good shape.
Talk about prices too, John. How are prices at the dock?
Well, I think prices rebounded somewhat this year from the low, that we saw during the depth of right when the recession, the beginning of the recession. I guess probably we rebounded anywhere from a quarter to 50 cents over the year before.
I agree with that.
So with meaningful increase in volume, that made a difference to bottom lines. But I think historically speaking, prices are still fairly low.
Well, I guess that's the question I have then too, Tom. Following up with you, looking at prices are historically low. I think that's true.
Yeah.
They are rebounding. How does that relative to other costs though too? The prices are going up. Are they keeping pace with cost at all?
Yeah, I wouldn't say so. I mean, bait's obviously been a big issue. There was a little bit of a shortage of bait this year and a lower quota now, so bait prices are headed in an upward direction. And of course, right now we're dealing with a crisis overseas, so the price of oil has gone up and price of diesel fuel has also become very high again.
Okay, so it looks like the need for kind of those innovative and creative ways to stay competitive are still out there, right? So let's go to that. Even though the catch has been good and the stock looks good, that's great. Prices are coming up. I know that folks are still having to come up with new ways to stay competitive. John, let's go to you. Tell us more about what you're doing in particular to kind of be competitive. New avenues, new ways that we may not have thought about in terms of lobstering before.
Right. We're really trying to take Maine lobster in a little bit of a new direction, and that we're really focusing on value-added products, things like lobster mac and cheese, lobster pizza, really high-quality foods that a customer can have a restaurant experience at home. And the way we're doing this is also unique. It's a partnership of lobstermen. Our company is owned by 38 lobstermen and foodies. We built a business model based where really the identity of our brand is controlling everything from the harvest all the way through the preparation of the end meal. So we're really trying to take lobster into the specialty food category and really elevate our product, and in that add value to our product and increase our bottom lines on the harvester side.
Tom, how about you? What kind of innovative things are you doing to kind of just really stay creative and competitive, affecting your bottom line?
Well, in our business, I guess I've been a commercial lobsterman since I was a teenager. And now in the summertime, we actually take a couple of months and we'll carry passengers on our boat to try to supplement income and then get back to full-time lobstering in September. So, we found over the years, it seems like the trend of that has actually been going up. So each year we're trying to carry a few more people on the boat in the summertime.
Good. Yeah. So tying into the tourist market.
Yeah, and in general, it seems like the tourism market in our area of Portland has been on the increase.
Good. Okay. Dane, just in general, as far as the industry goes, what kind of things are you seeing out there, too, in terms of new approaches that...
Yeah, I've seen a general trend is that two things, Alan. One is that the market for what I call the traditional, here's your live lobster, you cook it or steam it and put it on the plate. That segment of the business is not growing, hasn't grown. All the growth is in the types of things that John is talking about, value-added, specialty, and that creates some challenges as well as opportunity.
So are there going to, okay, the challenges, but also competition amongst the industry? I mean, not everybody can get that kind of relationship that you have with Stonewall Kitchen, as an example, right?
Right, yeah.
First to market, right?
Exactly. Two of our owners are the owners of Stonewall Kitchen.
Yeah.
I mean, but I think really our philosophy is we come at this, you know, as harvesters that launched this idea. I've also been a lobsterman for the last 20 years. We really want to collaborate with the industry. We really think we don't have that big of an industry. It's good for the whole industry if we're trying to find ways to increase demand. You know, we'd like to work with the infrastructure that's already in place in Maine and make the whole industry stronger. So we want to be inclusive.
Talking about increasing demand, that has something to do with marketing. I'm going to come back to Dane, but then all of you weigh in on this too. The National Seafood Marketing Coalition is something that I know that you're very involved with. That initiative. Tell us what it is briefly, and why we should care, and why this is a good thing for Maine.
Well, you're exactly on target, because, you know, why do we care about what goes on nationally or with other seafood? Well, what's in it for me kind of syndrome is that we know that marketing works, effective marketing. We've done pilot programs that stimulate demand. The question is, with a fragmented industry like this, we have literally thousands of small businesses. There are no large entities that would go out and spend and invest in marketing to increase general demand. So collectively, how do we work with that? And the answer is always comes back to where's the money come from?
Right.
You know, it's kind of the chicken or the egg. Yeah, we know we invest. Who's going to do that? So what we've done is kind of what John was alluding to, collaboratively and inclusively working with folks from other fisheries around the country and looking to access, it's kind of complicated, so I'll skip all that, but we access funds that are already available.
Well, it's tariffs and duties.
Tariffs and duties on imported seafood. Which now, imported seafood now accounts for 82% of all seafood sold in the U.S., so large numbers. So in that, we collect a certain amount of funds from that. We distribute it to regional boards, of what New England is one. And what it means for the lobster industry is we're looking to access $4 to $5 million a year on a continuous basis. Not a one-time grant, not a one-time investment.
But it won't be just for lobsters, though, right? It'll be for other seafood.
And in addition to that, there would be funds for other seafood to rebuild and reestablish the New England fisheries.
Okay. We're going to have to wrap the segment here, but I'm going to keep you around for an afterthought. We're going to talk more about that because it's federal legislation that's out there. I want to know what the likelihood of it is and what the politics behind it are. It's all about politics at some point, so I know you guys like to talk about that, so stick around.
Okay.
Good.
You can catch more of this discussion about the lobster industry and the National Seafood Marketing Coalition in our exclusive Afterthought segment seen only on the web. Just go to mainebiz.biz and click on the Mainebiz Sunday link. Stay with us. We'll be right back to talk with representatives from Maine's other fishing industry sectors.
Mainebiz Sunday is brought to you by Bangor Savings Bank, where you can enjoy free ATMs worldwide.